Okay, I'm glad that yesterday went so well. I trust that you did what you needed to. Rina is waiting for me in her usual spot. Her pale skin gleams white in the gentle beaming light. Yesterday we struck a strong blow against Gawain, so it's possible to be positive about the finals. Tomorrow is the 7th and final elimination battle. I never thought I'd be standing on equal ground with Leo and Gawain, but thanks to Rin, it's a reality. Those words of thanks are on my mind as I look to Rin. What? Hey, is there something on my face? Rin frantically wipes her hand over her face. It looks so funny that I burst out laughing. And when I do, Rin... What are you laughing at? You idiot. And to think I figured you'd be seriously concerned here about what Leo said. I spent time wondering if Leo's philosophy had merit. However, just as Rin said before, it is not as if what he says is absolutely... must be absolutely true. I realised after fighting him that as strong as Leo is, he's missing something critical. That's why I can surely win against Leo. I'm glad you think so, but talk is cheap. You better make the good on your words. Rin says this and smiles. Seeing that smile reinvigorates me to win and return to her, no matter what. That and... Do you remember what I said before about finding a way to get out? The odds are 50-50 as to if it will happen or not, and that's only if things go well. Once the Holy Grail War is over, promise me that you'll contact me. I don't care how or from where. This is the address I'm using for the war. I won't change it for 3 days. Embarrassment colours Rin's face as she sends her email address to my terminal. But why? Ignoring the fact that I still have to defeat Leo, I'm still nothing but random bits of data. Isn't it kind of, well, ridiculous to treat something like me as a real human being? You're an idiot. I've already told you that it doesn't matter to me. Clone or copy, it doesn't matter. You are you, regardless of where you come from or how you came to be. You're soft-hearted and sentimental, and is a reminder of how people really should be. No, it's not ridiculous. You are alive, so start thinking about life after the Holy Grail War. Defeating Leo will bring the wrath of the Harway family down upon you. Doesn't that scare you at all? Oh, I never thought about that. If the Western plutocrats target someone, they're as good as dead outside the Holy Grail War. Right? Don't worry, I'll watch over you. After all, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. Don't be afraid to depend on me once all this is over. I'll protect you no matter what. I tilt my head in puzzlement. Not only is she sure I'll beat Leo, she's making plans for afterwards. I think she's getting way too ahead of herself. What? Isn't it an obvious thing to do? And wipe that "oh woe is me" look off your face. Helping another person is a big deal. And of course, you had to go and just do that. Oh, go and just do that. To help another person is to take a certain amount of responsibility for their life. Remember that it's much harder to try and keep one alive than to stand by and watch them die. I see. Such an act couldn't be done without compassion, and to save a life is to share in it. Alright. All I can do now is prepare and face what comes. I only get this one chance at life. Though saving a life is a great responsibility, it's far greater to save a life than to take one. That's right. And that's why I'll do everything I can to help you. That's all I can do right now. Rin then turns away while continuing to mumble to herself. That's right. I may not have anywhere to go after this, but I swear I will return to this spot and... Ah, yeah! Ah, yeah! The sky's going dark. I'm nervous that I've forgotten something, making everything that I've done so far be for naught. Here's the final scene, Praetor. Are you sure you haven't forgotten that, to glean the ciphered keys or perform an alteration of the soul? Hearing familiar words from my servant calms me. I'd really like to save myself the embarrassment of losing by default in the finals. Just in case, I should check the cipher keys display on my terminal. Also, I need to finish all of the other preparations today. Visiting the commissary, performing the alteration of the soul, training in the arena. It's all necessary. I should do everything I need to. I can't be too careful either. Alright. So is it just a train day? Oh, okay, hello. Further down the hallway, the sounds of an argument can be clearly heard. In this school, where there are so few people left, I can only believe the owner of the voice is to be Rin. And the other voice can only belong to Leo. Legitimate masters, huh? So any irregularities are meaningless to you. On the contrary, I am relieved that you somehow managed to survive. Tragically, for me anyway, whether I get to live or die hasn't been decided yet. Whoever wins the Holy Grail and gets to return home is the sole survivor. That's the rule. But my life doesn't matter, so you're the one who still has something to lose. If you lose in the final match, the Harway family will lose their heir. Pretty big blow, hmm? True, but I'm going to win. It's not bravado or a lie. Leo believes he's speaking the truth. And it is definitely not in blind faith. He has judged himself. Doesn't find himself lacking. Trust the Harway to be arrogant. The same Harways choking the world into oblivion with an iron fist. Choking into oblivion. Tosaka, your complaint is creative. Still. No, you look tired. Now is not the time for an extended conversation, I'm afraid. With that said, I bid you good day. Leo makes a vague gesture towards Rin, while at the same time acknowledging me with a smile. How can I look forward to finally meeting you on the field of battle? I notice as he leaves that his smile never once slipped. If I was still the same person as before, his words would have badly shaken me. But everything is different now. Now I have a purpose, a reason to fight for the Holy Grail. And that's right, my path diverges from Leo's, but only the Holy Grail knows which is the correct one. Okay. What's up? You able to get the thing that grants wishes? Probably. Yes, this is my precious. Take this plushie in return. No, I insist that you have it. I must thank you for helping me with all my requests. All that's left is the final battle. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my room and save, and I'm not gonna do any grinding, but if I fuck up, I'll go back and grind. Yeah, there's the plushie. Look at it. It's a tiger. All right, I like it. Okay, so yeah, I'm a skip to the battle. So, what you got for me, Saber? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna skip and I'll see you in a bit. Well then, tonight is our last night together. Much has happened since you chose me as your servant. When I think back on it, it was wonderful, marvelous. Our story has been has a magnificent arc to it, one that my former self would adore. No, what gloomy talk. I cannot abide by it. Let us focus on the grand finale. Tomorrow I will swing my sword in a blaze of glory for you. Let us present a grand finale that will dazzle all who see. Command me passionately until I am spent. Ah, yeah, Kote! You're facing the final curtain, the final elimination battle. How do you feel, Master? Ah, alright. The answer is obvious. Why even bother asking? I'm here because I've accumulated victories and crushed dreams. Because of the cost of others, I can't even imagine failure. Leo or myself, the one whose wish that the Holy Grail will grant will be chosen today. Ah, yes. There was a certain young master who entered this tournament and has grown significantly. At first, this master appeared to be a sacrificial lamb, but instead fought on those wobbly legs. I may be an agent of the system, but your fight rouses my instinct, or my interest. Is your case a happy accident, or a genuine miracle in hundreds of thousands of years as masters? How perverse for this AI to be based on a clergyman. Now go. Show me the true strength of determination and desire. I'll wait on the first floor. Finish Father Kotamene departs. The elimination battle is here. I'm about to face my strongest opponent yet. I'll make some final preparations. That means getting outfitted at the commissary. Yep, okay. Gonna organize our information. The day has finally arrived. The day of the final battle. The way to the Holy Grail will open once this last fight is over. It's down to Leo and me. Whose wish will be granted? I have no intention of falling now, but today is a day where our fates will be decided. Before the elimination battle begins, I should go through all the information I've accumulated. First off, the name of Leo's servant. I'd better make sure I have his name right before I do anything else. It's Mordred! No. The servant in burnished white armour. His name was given as Gawain. A knight of great loyalty linked to the legend of the Round Table who guards Leo with tireless vigilance. I remember their first time we crossed swords in the arena. As per his story, his strength is legendary. Wielding a sword that shines like the sun, he barred my way with unshaken resolve. The name of his sword is... The Resurrector Sword of Victory? Right, also called Galantine. It is the sister sword of Excalibur, and a weapon of great power when used by Gawain. At first, there was no way I could meet the stroke of the sword infused with the sun's heat. Now the attribute that made Gawain one of the mightiest knights was his unique constitution. When the sun was in the sky, all of his abilities were amplified to a significant degree. His name of Phantasm alone makes him immensely powerful, but with this attribute, he was almost invincible. What was the name of that ability? The Numero of the Saint? Right, okay. It was in... I think if I looked at his thing, I would have learnt that, but I saved it all to read at the end. The ability that ties his powers to the sun at its most powerful when the clock strikes noon. But by hacking the arena and cutting off his lights, I was not only able to wound him, but to cripple his ability to some degree. All that is to be done now is to see how close Saber can get to Leo. I've made it all this way. Just one more victory, and then I can have my wish granted by the Holy Grail. The answer that I have sought throughout this fight. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Final battle. Final boss fight. There's probably a boss fight after this, let's be real. We're going to have to fight the moon cell. I'm going to have to probably fight the moon cell. If it is your wish, I will open the way to the Colosseum. Now, please present the final cipher key. Okay. Oh, wait, this is going to be fun. I'll be here waiting for the one who successfully manages to reach the Holy Grail. Finally, the battle I have been waiting for. Are you moved by the gravitas of the moment as well? I couldn't wait. Is that so? Then we are in the same mental space, even if we are not equals. You stir something up inside me when we fight. I am well aware that as the head of the Hallways, I must scour any personal ambition from my heart. But if you feel this connection between us as well, then it's a different story. It means that you and I are bound by a stronger fate than the pull of individual connectivity. Oh, excuse me. I can't contain my joy. You've gone through a metamorphosis. In the prelims, you were bland, unmistakable from an NPC. But now, you've transformed into a warrior worthy of arresting my full attention. It's a long road. Yes, you've taken to the battlefield like a flower to rich soil. But the time has come for me to pluck that flower before its growth becomes unsightly. Yes, you are. I will not get a chance to close. You will not get a chance to close the gap between our abilities. You will always be, or you will be always one step behind me, all the way until the end. Hypothetically speaking, what do you believe could bridge the gap? The path I've travelled? These two, I really... Honestly... Yeah. I see. So you believe that the path you've chosen will lead you to victory. I wonder how much strength you've gained from overcoming the obstacles that you crossed down that path. Proof is in the pudding. You know just what to say to make me anticipate our battle even more fervently. It was definitely worth the wait. With the gnashing of metal, the elevator grinds to a halt. Is it just me, or the time just? Is it just me, or this time did the reverberation last longer than the sound heavier than usual? In any case, yeah, this is it. Onto the final battlefield. It's time. I'm aware that this is inappropriate considering the situation, but I have one last thing to say. Thank you for making it this far. Now, let's defend our ideologies, 7th Master. Then it's finally arrived, Harkono. Although I'm afraid I will miss you, I have to keep going. This is it, Gawain. Utilize your sword's full capacity for me. I have waited for those words. My body will be your blade, and I will cut a path to the throne for you. Well, hold on. We've been letting you win so far, but we will no longer pretend that you are invincible. Because the boy you call Master is far from being a true king. You two are too innocent to win. I saying I shouldn't be king? You're mistaken, Saber. I'm already the king. So long as you think you are perfect, you will never realise your flaws, and you will never be complete. I pity you, hopeful heir, for you have never known defeat. Having never felt pain, your emotions are fragile and untested. If you were to suffer defeat, you would be devastated. Shut your mouth, whore of Why do people keep calling her whore of Babylon? First she says it and then him. What the fuck? Shut your mouth, whore of Babylon. You have no right to stand in my master. Such loyalty. This is well and good, but you are a fool. You see only the perfect king. Unless you also support his policies, you're nothing but a faithful dog. What are you saying? That's a knight's duty. A knight is the sword of his lord, and perishes with him at the end of his time. You can't be taking issue with that. I've devoted my being to my master. Any knight who would give less than that has impure motives. Be quiet. Bow your head to all the knights you have besmirched. Honourable as it may be to perish alongside your master, risking your life blindly is suicide. Knight of the Sun, your righteousness prevented you from correcting your master. A fatal mistake. Even if that is true, how could someone who identifies as a king understand any of this? That is where you're mistaken. I have always subjected myself to beauty. Therefore, no matter who I serve, as long as I stay true to myself, I see nothing wrong. Well, you call yourself a king, and yet you're willing to serve another. That's right. I can see you don't understand, so I will illustrate with my blade. Rainbows shine because they are illuminated by the sun. Perfect king, faithful sword, let us see your limits.
その貫かせていただく。ミューズの過去を至高の芸術を守りたまえ。さてここは動くな。その呼吸を。さて実力差は明白。終わりにしていいのですね、主よ。ええ、あなたの思うままに、ダーウェイ。行くぞマスター。さあ脅してみるぞ。すべて我が王のために。
That turn went much better than I could have hoped for. I'm gonna be real.
騎士に心は不要。ただ剣であればいい。この剣舞。すべて我が王のために。させぬ。剣路があろう。生きろ。大義である。その努力を決める。オリンピア・プラウデール、門を開き、独唱の幕を開けよう。行きますよ。その貫かせていただく。メグナムコエロラムエトジェフナ。気づかれよ我が魔天。ここに至高の光を示せ。行くぞ。ラウセントクラウ。
Jesus! Jeez! 3,600 damage! I... 天よ、今一度の祝福を。
剣舞剣度はあろう。
この剣は太陽の写しにもう一振りの星の聖剣
剣度はあろう。生きろ大義である。
私のガラティーヌ耐えたと
あり天よ、今一度の祝福を。ええ、あなたの思うままにガウィン。任せよ。答えよ。さあ、踊ってもらうぞ。
全て我が王のために
さて、剣度はあろう。
この剣は太陽の写しにもう一振りの星の聖剣エクスカリバーガラティー
I'm not a fan of how I can only use my Noble Phantasm once per round, well, once per fight. They can do it whenever. They can do it as many times as they want.
大義である。
Not a fan.
私のガラティーヌ耐えたと
ありえない。
Not a fan. I'm dead. I'm dead.
剣度はあろう。
Ah, I'm not dead.
午前の光よ良き営みを守りたまえ
Oh, he's got big defense. He's got big defense now. Oh, God. I'm unhappy.
主お怪我はありませんか
致命傷はありませんが、認識を改めましょう。
Was that a waste? Probably. I don't care.
午前の光よ良き営みを守りたまえ
Yes, okay. Oh, ah, fuck you, Gawain. Oh boy. I can't feel my fingers. My arms and legs won't move. Yeah, my arms and legs won't move. There's no strength in them. I don't understand. Even though my heart has been pierced through, it feels like the hole is filled. Astonished, Leo remains unmoving. This must be a truly unbelievable conclusion to him. While staring at his small hand, Leo's breaths become thin and short. His heart will stop moving soon. He doesn't seem to be trying to escape from the pain, though. Ah, I see. What I couldn't believe was that I've reached my limit. Leo smiles with his admission. I never thought I'd reach my limit. I wasn't even capable of imagining what defeat was. I didn't think I was flawless. I just had no fear. The way normal people's hearts quiver, mine never did. His quiet words were sorrowful, but a smile spreads across Leo's mouth. He's found some happiness, even in the arms of defeat and demise. His joy is something very human and trivial. Achievement. His body colouring slowly darkens. I already know what will happen. I've seen the scene play out before. The king-to-be will vanish. He'll disappear, like the gods have decided he should never have been. This feeling that's come over me. It fears the unreasonable and rejects the irrational. One more time. I won't lose next time. These are complex feelings. I don't want to give up. That's the compelling feeling, but all of them are positive. I feel bitterness and grief as well. I fear meeting death. And this must be courage. I had not understood the real meaning of any of these feelings. I'm such a fool. Someone like me could never have led the human race. Gawain. You knew all along that I lacked something necessary to become a true king. My lord, no, my king, Yes, I know, Gawain. Though you knew what I needed most was experience defeat, you still helped me win. You gave your loyalty and risked your life for me. You knew that I would be defeated one day, but you tended to my growth anyway. I live so illogically, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have realised. I would have seen this defeat as a fluke and coldly ignored it. My king, I would have accepted you no matter what defects you suffered, or if defeats you suffered. I am your sword, your knight. Your growth is your own. However, I am honoured to have witnessed the growth of a truly honourable king. With those words of praise, Gawain disappears. He makes no excuses and doesn't plead for his life. Of course he doesn't. He gave 100% for Leo. He had no reason to be ashamed. After watching Gawain flicker out, Leo turns back my way. He is crying. I'm afraid of going cold. This is the most frightening of human emotions. This is despair. I never even knew the basic feeling like this. His voice is bathed in sorrow. I don't know if it is sorrow for his death or the person he was. Defeat. It was a necessary obstacle on my path to the throne. I couldn't retreat after coming so far down the path. Now that I know defeat, I can become a complete king. Now, I can't help thinking of mayflies. They're those insects who gain wings to fly, but then die after just one day. There is nothing I can do. It's unfortunate. And then Leo disappears, gone without a trace. I'm the only one left. An emptiness that I've never gotten used to wrenches my heart. That was the end though. Everything is over now. It's really over. And we just go back to our room and sleep. Oh yeah. We just chill. We just go back to our room and chill for the night. Okay, reading time. So Saber, we got Leonard B. Harway, Leonard, whatever. True name Gawain. Noble Phantasm, Excalibur, Galantine, the Resurrected Sword of Victory, Knight of the Sun, Excalibur. Okay. Excalibur, Galantine. The sword of Sir Gawain and the sister sword to Excalibur. It is said that, like Excalibur, Galantine once belonged to the Lady of the Lake. However, its legends have been overshadowed by its more famous counterpart, and therefore very few people know of its true significance. Another difference is that while Excalibur was said to absorb the light radiated from the sun, Galantine reflected the warming rays of the sun. Oh wait, radiated from the earth. Okay. Knight of the Sun. Well, King Arthur was ruled by the movement of Artemis, the goddess of the moon. Sir Gawain drew his strength from, as a knight, from the sun. It is said that his powers at their greatest when his end was at zenith. Excalibur. Arthur said to be the mightiest of all kings to rule Britain. Is believed to have ruled sometime during the 5th or 6th century. The sword that is said to have proclaimed his right to rule was bestowed upon him by the Eternal, known in legends as Lady of the Lake. The entire episode was passed down in a story collectively known as King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Anti-Magic B cancels low-level spells with chants consisting of less than 3 full verses. Even high-level thaumaturgy and the greater rituals will only have a negligible effect on him. Dragoon B allows him to control any kind of transportation with exceptional skill. However, it does not bestow the ability to ride upon any of the phantasm races. Numeral of the Saint EX. A condition unique to Sir Gawain's existence. During the hours between 9 AM and 12 PM, and those between 3 PM and sunset, all of his powers increase by a factor of 3. This is related to the ancient belief that the numeral 3 was the sacred number of the Celtic gods. Character background. One of the major knights mentioned in the Arthurian legends, often thought to be King Arthur's nephew. A knight said to be equal to Sir Lancelot, Gawain was frequently at odds with Lancelot due to his slaying of both Gawain's brothers. Although pure of heart and loyal beyond question, it is Gawain's all-consuming hatred that not only led to him being stripped of his knighthood, but also led to the downfall of Arthur himself. Although his hostility inevitably led to his death at the hands of Sir Lancelot, he realised that it was his own lack of virtue that led Sir Lancelot's betrayal and the defeat of King Arthur at the Battle of Camelot Hill. Upon his death, Sir Gawain was considered a paragon of knighthood, chivalrous, loyal and gallant. Even as King Arthur became a legend, Gawain was content to stay in the background, doing his duty regardless of whether his efforts were acknowledged or not. In reward for his gallantry and loyalty to King Arthur, as well as eventual forgiveness of Sir Lancelot, Gawain was resurrected as a legendary soul, and free from the sins of his past, he has once again reclaimed his role as King Knight of the Sun. Knight at the Round Table. Widely considered to be equal of King Arthur by many and the wielder of the lesser known holy sword Galantine, Sir Gawain was fiercely loyal to the king and, or more accurately, the King's Station. Unlike Sir Bedivere, a trusted friend of King Arthur's who wished only that he would find peace and contentment, Gawain's only concern was that Arthur maintained the throne of Britain. If King Arthur was seen as the personification of the moon, then Sir Gawain was a harbinger of the sun. He was frequently compared with Arthur, although Gawain himself ignored the comparisons and devoted himself to serving his king to the best of his abilities. Though loyal to the end, his irrational hatred for Sir Lancelot proved to be his and Arthur's undoing. Though Arthur eventually forgave his wayward knight's transgressions, Sir Gawain could not find it within himself to do so the same until the very last moments of his life, and only after being stripped of his knighthood, excommunicated from the church, and causing the downfall of his sovereign king. With his dying breath, he swore that if he was ever given a second chance at life, he'd support his king no matter what. Upon being reincarnated as a servant, Gawain devotes himself completely to the goals of his master, and by doing so, hopes to gain absolution for the sins of his past. Okay, my boy, we outie. Okay, what's next? What final boss fight is next?